Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy AA on 2 for 20, bringing you guys a Wi-Fi battle versus Quinn. This was actually a UBLN game we did. I just thought it was a really good game and I wanted to upload it, and it's also the first time in format, spoilers, that I've ever beaten Quinn. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below. As I said, I'm not uploading for UBLN, but I may upload a couple games here and there. This just happens to be one of them. Mainly because, I haven't really used Mega Mawile ever in format, and I sort of want to document at least a couple of games. But I'm already uploading for IBA, P4G minors, and I'm actually, spoilers, if I haven't already mentioned it in a vid already, I'm actually not going to be uploading the rest of my MPL season, mainly just because I would much rather upload other things on top of what I'm already doing for leagues. I may just do like a recap at the end of the season, that's probably what I'll do. But basically, I'm bringing Kecleon, Blaziken, Mega Mawile, Goodra, Jellicent, and Zapdos versus Quinn's team, which is Mega Aggron, Tapu Bulu, Uxie, Nihilego, Tornadus-T, and actually I forget the last mon, to be honest. Oh yeah, Hydreigon, that's what it was. So I lead off with my Kecleon though. I figured I can always get off a fake out if it's a bad lead. I can always get up rocks if it's, for example, Mega Aggron. I overlooked that I could have just went for Trick Room here, but I feel like it actually plays into my favor later on in the game, as Quinn did not know until I clicked it later on in the game that this thing even got Trick Room, and had I clicked it turn 1, that may have definitely helped him play around it a lot better. So going for rocks, well, it may not have been the smartest play, as I said Trick Room would have been, because that way then I would have not been super effectively hit by the Heavy Slam next turn trying to set up a Trick Room had he stayed in. He actually luckily goes for Toxic here and doesn't go for Taunt. So I'm free, at least I think I'm free, to just hit him up with the Trick Room on a Jellicent, and then potentially go for Toxic, and maybe even sack this thing, because I knew it had a Rindo Berry, and I don't take any hit from it. He actually taunts me though, so now I'm forced out into Zapdos. I figured he was probably going to U-turn here, if not Grass Knot. I figured though if he had Grass Knot, it was more likely that he would have clicked it last turn. And again, I knew he'd have U-turn, and probably Hurricane as well, if not then like Heat Wave to hit Mega Mawile, because he already revealed he has Toxic and Taunt. And it's weird to me also that he brought Life Orb on the set as well, as it doesn't really feel like, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know. He does bring in Lily, his Nihilego. Luckily, I made Charty Berry Zapdos, so I knew I would take any hit for this thing. And he doesn't even go for Power Jump, he actually goes for Knockoff here, which I thought was very weird. But you know, he was probably expecting that, which is perfectly fine by me. He was probably expecting that I would be Berry and just wanted to knock it off and get rid of it, though in hindsight Charty would have probably done more. But then again, if I switched in something else, so you know, fair play. I go for Volt Switch though. I figured I'd bring a Splatoon 4 because I have Earthquake on the set and I take any hit with my Assault Vest. He actually goes for Knockoff yet again. So I mean, that's perfectly fine. Gets rid of my Assault Vest, sure. But I really, at least in this matchup, I really only needed this Goodra to handle Nihilego, and Quinn surprisingly sacked off like turn 3. Nihilego was a little bit problematic, but with Quinn's spread, it ended up actually not being a problem at all for my team, so a little disappointed in how much I prepped Goodra for it, but it's fine, it's fine. Right here, though, I figured that my best play was to just stay in. I can sack Goodra, whatever he comes in, I can play around that later on, and I can just click Outrage. Because if he brings in Tapu Bulu, then I live any hit because I'm Sap Sipper, and I go for Sludge Wave next turn and kill it off. And he goes Mega Aggron, then either I sack and I go into Mega Aggron counter, which I have a few of them, or I end up just snapping out Confusion turn 2, and I just go for Focus Blast and do half to him. So he actually does U-turn here after Toxicing me, so he definitely has put me in a timer, but again, my play was just to sack Goodra. I really didn't need it for anything besides Nihilego at this point in the matchup, unless if I got a Trick Room up, but even then, it would only be for Hydreigon, and I still have options such as somewhat Kecleon, more so Blaziken, I was thinking, and Mega Mawile as well. So I knew I had ways around it, was not concerned at all. So again, my play is just to sack Goodra here. Especially without the Assault Vest, it's not really doing anything that I need it to. I guess it's really like a backup Tapu Bulu counter at best right now, in terms of what I can have it do on my team. But again, I have other answers, so I'm not overly worried about Bulu at this point in the game. So my play is just to sack. I'm just going to go for Focus Blast, get off some nice damage in the Mega Aggron, and hit myself from Confusion, of course. So he actually gets up his rocks here. Very smart play by Quinn, because he kills me off in Toxic in just a couple turns anyway. So I'm sure that he's not concerned at all by just clicking Stealth Rocks here. And it also puts decent pressure on my team, as my default here is Zapdos, and Zapdos doesn't, I don't know, I feel like his team has a lot of coverage for Zapdos. So overall, it definitely does put pressure on my Zapdos though, for mons such as Hydreigon potentially clean up later game. He does bring in his Torn here, however, very smart play actually, as I was going for Focus Blast. I'm sure he knew this, either that or Earthquake, since he did know that I was physical, so he probably predicted Earthquake. He still chose the Focus Blast though, but I do find out from this he is practically like no HP Torn from how much I did. So that was good knowledge to have for later on in the game. He does actually U-turn on us, and he's definitely taken some decent chip between the rocks and the life orb. We've gotten him down to about a third, but again, he could just come in, regen it off, and then just slowly gain back HP, so it's not overly big concern from him. But between my rocks and one life orb turn, he's slowly losing damage every time he comes in, because since he doesn't actually have Roost and Spread, spoilers, it's Hurricane. Every time he clicks that life orb after being in for one turn, he is actually losing HP. His regen won't gain it back. So I do bring in my Jellicent here. I figured I can Trick Room up and go for a taunt, as Uxie does not have taunt. Well, actually, I could go for Trick Room, then Toxic, my bad. Jellicent doesn't have taunt either. But I figured I can go for Trick Room here, and whatever mon he brings into counter, if it's Mega Aggron, I can go for Scald Burn, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And if it's Uxie, I can just go for a Toxic, and I can get Uxie down on the timer as well, because Uxie could be a potentially very scary mon for my team to play against. But once I get Uxie down on the timer, it makes Mega Mawile sweeping much more efficient and much more capable. So I feel like it's definitely a play here. I see that he goes for a Psychic again, and I know it's going to do like 13% at most for my Mega Mawile, so I'm perfectly fine with just going hard into it, as there's nothing in Uxie's moveset that it would allow for me to actually be hurt by it. Even like a Hidden Power wouldn't do that much to my Mega Mawile spread, as I'm fairly bulky, so I wasn't really too concerned. So I do bring in Mio here. I figured I can get off my Intimidate, then I can set up a sub because he cannot break it. In fact, depending on the roll, I might even live 2 hits. He actually decides to hard swap into his Tornadus here, and I figured that regardless, I do have the Trigger him up. I get a free sub because he's not going to want to stay in sack Torn. I feel like it still does too much to my team in terms of pivoting around it and stops me from getting Trigger him up later in the game. And I knew he had to bring in Mega Aggron. There was no other one he could bring in. So I figured I can get up a sub and I can go for a Focus Punch, as my Focus Punch is actually going to do a fuck ton to Mega Aggron. I believe it guaranteed 2-hit kills versus any Mega Aggron spread. So regardless of his Mega Aggron spread, he's going to be 2-hit KO'd. Even if he's Hard Fizz Death, Impish Nature, he's still taking about 50%. If he was Spidef, this would have actually killed at this range, depending on how little Fizz Def he had. But I'm certain, since his team has like nothing for Mega Mawile, this is like his only mon for it, being Uxie and Mega Aggron, the only things that are like 2-hit KO'd by it. But had I had Sword Sense on my spread, I could have actually plowed through his entire team at this point. But it's fine. It's fine. It could have been a lot worse. So, sadly though, our Trick Room does wear off this turn, and this is actually very big, because it means that I can no longer just stay in versus Quinn, as had my Trick Room still been up, I could have definitely just swept at this point, because he would not have gotten off a skill swap, he would have just died to whatever hit I go for. Now, Uxie still dies to player off anyway, so I'm not overly concerned about Uxie necessarily, but it's what happens next that definitely stopped a Mega Mawile from just plowing through Quinn's entire team. So I do definitely give Quinn props to the skill swap Uxie. Definitely saved his ass here a shit ton, because as you're going to see here, I do go for Focus Punch as Mega Aggron, and as you're about to see, we actually hit our Focus Punch right now. And for a second you might be thinking, Focus Punch is mine's priority, how does it happen? Well, my friends, it's because he actually goes for Roar, and I forgot that Roar will go through a sub. And also, I forgot that Mega Aggron gets Roar. I was, in the sense of the moment, I was only remembering he got Dragon Tail, so I essentially thought I swept at this point. Because even if he broke my sub, I still was able to take care of this thing. But, I mean, it's fine. I wasn't overly concerned because I can just set up a Trick Room right now, and he cannot kill me off. He actually goes into his Tornadus-T in here, which is even better for me, because this means that I could just bring in my Zapdos and just Volt Switch on it, or even if I went to something else, let's say, then I can just take care of it with whatever mon I decide to go into next. But I did get my Trick Room off. I immediately knew at this point, because Quinn DM'd me, that I had psyched him out. He did not know this thing got Trick Room. And at first I was going to go Zapdos. My main reason I didn't, though, was because in case if he just Scarf Hydreigon and took advantage of that and hard swapped into Hydreigon, and then I ended up, well, actually, no, let me rephrase that. If he was not Scarf Hydreigon and he had like a really slow Hydreigon, he would have outsped me here. Or even like Tapu Bulu, if you went hard Tapu Bulu at this point and had like a Rocky MZ Stone Edge, that could have been very scary. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Quinn's Z user is, well, one of them is Tapu Bulu. I know for a fact he is Hydreigon and Nihilego, I believe. Actually, then I guess Bulu wasn't his Z user. I thought it was in the game. I was really scared of either a bulky Hydreigon or a Rocky MZ Bulu, or even Mega Aggron just coming in and having Stone Edge. So I figured I could just sack Jellicent off here. I really don't need it. Kecleon is the only Trick Room setter I need at this point in the game, as I am Rindo Berry over Colbur Berry. He does not have Ludicolo, which means that I'm not going to need to worry about getting Rain Swept, which is my other reason for having this. And at this point, I'm low enough and poisoned anyway, to the point where I'm really not an effective Tapu Bulu counter, especially if you use Wood Hammer. I do not take that on very well. So I just sacked a High Dragon. I figured I can now just bring in Blaziken, who will definitely outspeed, unless if he is ridiculously slow. He'd need to prep this High Dragon for a Trick Room. That is the only way he would have taken it. I knew he had no switches at this point, so I go right here into my Blaziken, and I click the Fightinium Z Focus Blast. I'm actually Special Blaziken with Overheat, Focus Blast with my Z move, and also I had on this spread Vacuum Wave, because I knew that no matter what, I could have had Vacuum Wave for months that just had Dragon to revenge off later on in the game. If I really just needed any chip against a lot of things, or especially, I think my main concern was definitely Rain, as Rain is definitely very scary for my team. It ends up actually being very, very nice here, though, however, because as you can see here, he lives on just a barely any HP. He dies a Life Orb at this point. Even after regen plus rocks, I'm fairly certain he would have died anyway, so there was really no saving this. So I just go for a Vacuum Wave here, though. I figured there was no reason not to, because even if he brought in Tapu Bulu, he was going to just get overheated next turn. Anything else wasn't really taking a Vacuum Wave too well. And at this point, I figured I could just sack Blaziken. Mega Mawile wins here. The problem with trying to sack Blaziken is Blaziken's just too damn good. This mon is fucking amazing, actually. It chewed through Hydreigon. I'm sure he tried to predict me switching out. Even then, my guess is maybe he was choiced because this is sort of his neutral play, as if he went for, let's say, Outrage. Not Outrage, Draco, Mega Mawile took that, and if he was choiced, he would have been forced out. I got a sub up in one regardless. So I'm assuming he just wanted to like try and flinch me out, not knowing I have Vacuum Wave, or even if he just wanted to try and get off like a crit, maybe kill. This is definitely his neutral play, at least, I feel like. But sadly he sacked. At this point I definitely won though, because I just click Overheat versus the Bulu, and then even though I sack versus his Mega Aggron, and I somehow don't kill his Mega Aggron with Overheat, I just go into Mega Mawile, get up a sub, kill with Focus Punch. Because no matter what, I am slower than Mega Aggron. I made sure of that for a fact, so that way I can keep my sub up if Trick Room was not up. And that way then I can just get off the Focus Punch, and if Trick Room was up, then I get sub on the switch, which I would most likely be bringing in Mega Aggron on my Mega Mawile at this point, get out my sub, hit with Focus Punch, and then just play it from there. But luckily though, we do kill off Mega Aggron with an Overheat. That's actually a 4-0 win. It did not really feel like a 4-0, especially versus Quinn's team, as Quinn's team was very scary, and it got my team very whittled down, such as my Blaziken. My Zapdos definitely got pressured a lot. Kecleon definitely got pressured a lot. Mega Mawile was almost half. After Rocks, it would have been about half. But yeah, very fun game to Quinn, though. Make sure to check him out. He's actually uploading this game as well for his channel, as Quinn is actually uploading UBLN, which is another reason I wanted to do this game, because Quinn is a good friend of mine, and I know that Quinn is uploading UBLN, and I had to record this game anyway, as he forgot to grab his replay. So luckily, I got my boy Quinn here. I figured if I'm recording for him, I might as well record it for me anyway. But yeah, make sure to check out Quinn, though. Very, very good guy. He actually has a new channel as well. Again, another reason I'm making this, I want to help plug Quinn's new channel. I believe it's Tapu Koko, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's something with Tapu Koko. That's all I remember. But yeah, so make sure to check him out, though. If you guys enjoyed, though, leave a like down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Most likely a Wi-Fi battle. If not, then it's probably our next P4G game or something, because I'm fairly certain that will be next on the upload list. But I will see you guys next time, though. Peace out.